Afternoon, everybody. What's going on? Live from Chicago, Illinois, the third largest city in the United States of America. Guess what? It's The Drive with Mario Smith. I am Mario Smith. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a beautiful day in the city. It's going to rain all day and night, but who cares? I am wearing, for anyone that asks or goes, what's going on with your hat? This is a hat from Leaders here in Chicago, and it has every event on it as the Bulls go up against the Milwaukee in game 2, and my White Sox are getting crushed right now. It's not even close. It's terrible. But we'll deal with all that later. Let's go out to Beaverton, Oregon, and say hello to our good friend, Mr. Jay Gliss. Good afternoon, sir.
How's it going? Man,
it's weird. I feel like I'm weird. Maybe it's today. Maybe it's because it's 420.
It is a holiday.
It is. But I will not confirm or deny if I did anything, but I didn't, because I live in a non-smoking building and all my neighbors will trick on you. So I don't do anything.
Yeah.
The straightest of arrows.
I'll let people make their own assumptions.
It's 420. Did you know? Yeah.
It's pretty common out here. I'll say that, but
so we're getting caught up in Chicago. It's not a terribly new thing, to say the least. But what's happening here, I read a list where Chicago is one of the least tolerated cities for marijuana smoke and for people smoking it. Milwaukee's like number 1 at like the worst.
Just as in like people don't, like, even though it's legal, people don't particularly like it, or okay. Yeah. And they're not very how do I put it? Let's say, for example, this is an easier way to put it. Let's say, for example, I'm walking down the street and I'm smoking, which I wouldn't do because I'm a public figure. Everybody at Backchannel. Ooh. But if I did, and I was walking down the street smoking it, some people would be like, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing that." Although no one in Chicago talks like that. And it's like it's just not, as wildly accepted as you would think. I think when it becomes federally accepted, it'll be a whole different situation. And then I'm doing it. I'm doing it whenever I want, except for it is a weird thing to get used to. I will say that. I think it's been legal almost 10 years here now. And it's like you almost forget when it wasn't legal. I don't. I
like that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's kind of a weird thing, and especially like I think I remember at the time having a conversation with my wife, like, it's now legal here. Is it's similar to what alcohol is, and it's like, oh, that's an interesting thing, because when we were kids, it was very like considered taboo, and if like you found out one of your parents smoked weed in high school, it was like, oh my god, like,
man.
And my kids aren't really going to grow up like that. Like, a lot of adults do it.
They'll just be like, what else is new? But man, when I found out certain people I knew that were older than me smoked, it blew my mind.
I know, same here. I was like, oh my gosh,
you. Yeah, and what I didn't know until I got older and started hanging out with them regularly, that they were that way all the time, like 24 hours a day. Yeah. I was a little kid. I was very impressionable. I used to think all athletes were like different kinds of people. They didn't do the regular stuff. I just thought that they just like super people,
like robots. They just like get up, work out, go to practice.
It wasn't until I started playing baseball and hanging out with people that I played with who were older, and I would see some of this, and I'm like, oh, you do what? Yeah. Screwed me up, because I later would soon join in. But today is 420, Gliss, and you know what that means. We've got a Florida man story today.
Have to.
I'm so very happy. I'm so very, very happy. Let's see what's cooking on the chat, because today, if there's ever going to be a day that this chat is interesting as hell, it's today. Because it's, today. Let's see. Who's here? Someone, no name, says, I removed Backchannel. We got a Johann Sebastian Bach channel on Backchannel? Nice. Used Baboon is here. Jill is here.
I think Riyadh is here. Hey, Riyadh. Trey. You know what? I said I was going to do it, and I'm about to do it, right? I'm going to find some Harrison Ford quotes from Star Wars, so whenever Chewie pops up, I can do it correctly and go, Trey! Skirt! What's going on? How you doing? Everybody is here chatting and stuff. This is cool. Tremendous Goose, Ken in California, Jill here in Illinois, what's up? And Cherry in Puerto Rico. Start the plane. My wife, the samples. Hey, Gliss, did you know if you're bored and, you know, you may feel really good about things, go on YouTube and put in Harrison Ford and just enjoy yourself. There's one that's like 20 minutes of him just saying my wife. It is brilliant.
From, The Fugitive?
From every movie. Not just The Fugitive. Awesome. Every movie with the exception of maybe Star Wars, but everyone says, have you seen my wife? I'm looking for my wife. Where's my wife?
That sounds amazing.
And Amish, he did it. He did it in every movie. Indiana Jones, I think he does. It's brilliant. It's like the Tom Cruise running one I was telling you about.
Yeah.
You can just see Tom Cruise running. Oh my God.
I mean, that's
every movie.
What you're suggesting here is a perfect activity for someone to do on this day. It's
how do you think I know how to do it, Gliss?
Those are the kind of things that one would do if they're say have some free time and are just hanging out at home today.
And God knows free time I have sometimes. But thanks everybody for being on the show today. Let's do our propers. Oh boy. Oh, and one more thing, Gliss, hop on the screen. I got to do this, and I want to make sure that I see your face because I've been doing other stuff. But here it is. Are you familiar with Wingstop? Do they have Wingstop in your area?
Yeah, it's kind of, I've seen it pop up like in the last couple of years a little bit.
I've come to two conclusions. One, Wingstop is only good when you're drunk. That's number one. And number two, oh yeah, it's only good when you're drunk. And number two, Wingstop is the White Castle of chicken wings.
Okay. And see, we don't have White Castle on the West Coast. I mean, I know what it is. I know of it. I've been to the East Coast several times, but yeah, I've heard it kind of has that reputation.
Wingstop is absolutely the White Castle of chicken. I'm looking right in the camera. Hey, everybody, Mario Smith here. Wingstop. It's delicious when you're drunk, but it has a real bad exit plan. Let me tell you, it's not for not safe for work. I think that's what people say.
For me, that just says I probably just avoid it a little bit because I know other good wing places around here. So it's just like I feel now like, then I don't really need to try it because I know some places that are good. Like
that is it is. I can't say it's not good. It's just
sure
you gotta. It's It's ooh. All right. Let's see. Hey, Skirt's here. What's up, Skirt? How you doing? John is here. All right, we've got our friends here. YouTube's in New Jersey. The entire embodiment of YouTube is here. Boy, that's a lot to live up to. Have to be on our toes today for YouTube. So listen, if you're trying to catch us, and we hope you are, Backchannel that is, you can start at 6 a.m. with Haley and Allison's Good Morning. And that's 6 a.m. Eastern. And then at 8 a.m. Eastern is Live Every Day with the inimitable Liv Harrison. And except on Tuesdays and Thursdays when it's Will and Kate. Mwah! Hello to both of you. Get on up with Jam and Renee is at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Sir Anthony Davis and the Anthony Davis Show is at noon Eastern. And then on Wednesdays, instead of Sir Anthony Davis, it's the Word of the Day quiz. And then at 2 Eastern, it's your pal, Hal Rudnick, the great Hal, and producer Travis. And then it's me and Bliss. And we are really glad that you guys are here. If you don't know, you're here at one of the shows here on Backchannel. It's called The Drive with Mario Smith, and it's the only place that you on your Echo device you can watch and listen to all the live shows and chat with all the hosts in real time. And we're here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Friday from 4 p.m. Eastern. And here's how you can get involved in the show. It's not hard. You can send a chat, right? You just ask questions, chime in. We love talking to each other, and we'll, make it work out. If you can see me right now and you're watching on an Echo Show device, just say Ham and Egza. Man, I'm glad when we can actually say the name. And then you can get into the chat that way. If you're just listening to us on your Echo speaker and you can't see me, just go to backchannel.tv, all right? And then you can get involved then. And we welcome everybody that's a passenger this afternoon on the drive. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me and to Bliss and to all the folks that are enjoying this fine 420 at 12 minutes after the hour. Here are a couple of headlines for you as we get ready to go into our discussion for this afternoon. A sharp drop in subscribers at Netflix shares into free fall today, forcing the company to consider experimenting with ads. And here you go. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Cracking down on millions of freeloaders who use passwords shared by friends or family. Looming changes announced late Tuesday are designed to help Netflix regain momentum lost over the past year. Pandemic-driven lockdowns that drove binge watching have lifted, while deep-pocketed rivals such as Apple and Walt Disney have begun to chip away at its vast audience with their own streaming services. Netflix's customer base fell by 200,000 subscribers during the January-March quarter, the first contraction the streaming service has seen since it became available throughout most of the world other than China 6 years ago. The drop stemmed in part from Netflix's decision to withdraw from Russia to protest the war against Ukraine, resulting in a loss of 700,000 subscribers. Netflix projected a loss of another 2 million subscribers in the current April-June quarter. And according to an Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs research poll, a majority of people in the United States continue to support a mask requirement for people traveling on airplanes and other shared transportation, a poll finds. A ruling by a federal judge has put the government's transportation mask mandate on hold. This poll finds that despite opposition to the requirement that included verbal abuse and physical violence against flight attendants, 56% of those surveyed favored requiring people on planes, trains, and automobiles, great movie, planes, trains, and public transportation to wear masks, compared with 24% opposed and 20% who say they are neither in favor nor opposed. And those are the headlines at the top of the hour. When we come back, we'll have news from around the world. We'll go back into our chat room to say hello to everybody that are passengers today on the drive. And Skirt said, I had Wingstop once. I'll only have it again if somebody else buys it for me. I know that is so true. I think I came to the conclusion that I'm good and I will not be doing that again. No time soon. This is The Drive with Mario Smith. You're watching us on Backchannel.tv. You're also watching on YouTube and listening to us on your Echo-supported devices, your Amazon-supported devices, and we appreciate it. And with that being said, we'll be back right after these words. Welcome back, everybody, to The Drive. How you doing? It's 15 minutes after the hour, not 16, 15 minutes after the hour here on this wonderful Tuesday around the world. I hope everybody is doing well wherever you are, and it is good to see all of our folks in the chat today. This is fun. We have a special guest that's back there in the chat talking to folks too, which is fun, and we're all having fun. I don't look like I'm having fun. Oh, I'm having fun. I'm just sitting here hoping I don't do this show I have on clothes. I don't do the show in shoes, and I don't want to roll over my feet because I like moving around. I can't sit still, and I always get worried that I might either run over my feet or stub my toe on my subwoofer because I have to listen to tunes when I'm not doing it. Thank you all for being here today. Truly, truly, truly appreciate it, man. And we really want you to get involved in our chat. So please don't forget, using your device, go in there and do what you got to do. Get in there with us and say hello. We really appreciate that, man. We really do. What else are we working on, Gliss, for 420 today? You got any special plans? Are you and family gonna go out to the 420 fireworks show that Oregon is having? Because if you got a guy playing flaming bagpipes, I am certain there are activities planned for this evening in Oregon.
Yeah, I'm sure there are, but we're not.
All right. My man.
I'd rather be at home on a day like this.
I'm not even going there with you, dude. I tell you, I am already ready to leave the house immediately after the show, and that I have to get the hell out of here because I feel like I am losing my mind and everything is starting to do like this.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to meet my friend. It's Wednesday.
Nice.
She's
Sounds
big
like
on it. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Hey, is that someone from Backchannel calling you, or is that what this song I'm hearing in my head?
I was wondering the same thing. I think that's music.
Or have we 420'd for real and went into a new dimension? And the other thing that Wingstop is that I really think is important to mention to everyone, it is nightmare fuel. Legit nightmare fuel. In that I had probably the worst series dreams I've had in a long time, where I was in my old neighborhood, but everything was on the other side of the building. Like when I used to live a little bit further southeast, because there is no east side of Chicago, southeast of here. And when you would come in the door, the mailboxes and stuff would be on your left. But in my dream, the mailboxes were on my right. And of course, because I can't have on clothes in a dream, I only had on underwear. So I thought everybody could see me, but apparently no one cared. And then I got chased into my building, and someone dressed in like a tux with people in these formal dresses and stuff. And they were like, yo, we need to get in. They were dressed like they were going to the opera, but they were talking like people I knew. You know what I mean? I'm like, what do you need to come in here for? You can't come in here. Like, yeah, we got to come in because it's a party upstairs and we're going to it. And everybody was, yeah, party. And on the street, there were these two big paintings. I can't believe I'm analyzing my dreams. There were these two big paintings, and there was a woman that walked up and she goes, "Man, those are some rather large paintings." And then there was a lion and a dog. It was Wingstop. That's all I'm saying. It is much more. And I woke up.
Happy 420, everybody.
Woke up this morning, looked at my clock, and it said 420, and I went, "That's it. I got to get out of here."
Yeah, right.
It was wild, man. So yeah, I don't know what everybody's plans are for today. For those of you who imbibe and you know, all of that, have a good day. Please be careful. It is still not federally legal, although you know you can't tell people that because they're like, that's legal. No, it isn't. It's legal where you live. Yeah. It ain't legal yet.
Yeah, don't be taking it across state lines.
That's what I mean. Like, man, I'm going to Gary. Why? I'm gonna smoke some weed. No, you're not. Stay where you are and shut up. And don't let everybody know your business. Everybody doesn't need to know what you're doing. I think that is a character flaw of this era we live in, where it's like everybody has to know everything you're doing. No. You know how many people I don't tell about nightmares I have? I just told a whole nation full of people that Wingstop is nightmare fuel. I hope the Wingstop people don't think that I am anti-Wingstop. I'm just making a point that, you know, it will conduct some business in your brain. I think it may have been that they gave me the hot sauce. I don't eat hot sauce. Anyway, we've got some things to talk about today. This mask mandate or not is really making people are out here doing the most now and looking at you if you got a mask on. I'm sure we will hear in coming days of fights on planes between people who don't wear a mask, trying to take someone's mask off. I do have a friendly reminder for you. Let me get my friendly reminder position. Hi, Mario Smith here. If you see me with a mask on, don't put your hands near my face. Thanks. And that's it. The more you know thing would come across the screen after that. Just yesterday, the Justice Department said that it's willing to appeal the ruling that the judge in Florida made. Of course, it's in Florida. That the judge in Florida made about wearing masks. If the Center for Disease Control, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say, yeah, you should, because this isn't over yet, which they should, but they won't. And people are out here just wilding out. And I was in the streets a little bit last night here in Chicago, and very excited people about not wearing a mask. And I'm like, but you know, the numbers keep going up. And they're like, so, don't wear no mask. I'm wearing nothing. I'm like, okay, you feel that strongly about it. But I posed the question yesterday to, and actually, you know, I can kind of understand it. The mask mandate started, February of 2021? And before that, it was like, oh, you don't have to wear a mask. Yeah, you should wear a mask. You don't really have to. And once people started wearing masks, numbers kind of, you know, no flu, all that. But the airlines are like kind of confused. As happy as they may be, passengers are traveling with children. We talked about this yesterday. Gliss's family is about to take a trip, and their whole family's going, with the exception of the dog. Is the dog going too, Gliss? Milo?
Nah, poor guy.
Oh, how's he doing?
He's good. He's hoping to get the donut thing off tomorrow. So,
oh God, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hate that we're not on the air to like actually be there live to see it, to watch him leave all of you and just go, I'm out, pack his bag, and just put a knapsack over his shoulder and walk away with the Incredible Hulk closing music playing as he walks off into the nothing. But that's good for Milo. But are you guys happy? And I know you said you had a conversation about the whole mask situation. You guys are still wearing them when you get on that plane, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we've been kind of enforcing just wearing them in general when we're out, especially for the kids, just because the kids are around so many other kids. You don't know, there's so many variables when you're, in particular, the younger ones, they're around so many other children. You don't know what those families' stances are, and things like, for instance, Jack, who's 8, is vaccinated. James isn't old enough to be vaccinated. So all of us, 5 of the 6 of us are vaccinated. But for someone like Jack, we still don't know like what, other kids in his class, or, what their parents' stance on things are, if they wear masks, if they are vaccinated, if they're not vaccinated. So we just kind of try to take it upon ourselves to, be responsible for our kids and what, we think is protecting them the best. So,
and we all know that children are the nightmare fuel of sickness, because they will bring home, what do you have?
Everything.
Automatopoeia.
Like, what do
you need? In our chat, Riyadh said he had Wingstop last night. How you feeling today? Did you have a crazy nightmare, Riyadh? Because I'm telling you, it was rough. Selena H inspired a quick gorilla. Patricia, what's up, everybody? Sure. Because I don't want to keep jumping back and forth, but man, that stuff is dangerous. The decision to appeal this, by the way, from the judge may not be because of the current conditions, in as much as it is a need to preserve the ability of the CDC to issue future mandates. The judge that made the decision, it was a pretty wide-ranging decision, and she challenged whether or not the CDC had the authority to mandate anything. This is from the Department of Justice, a statement they made that said, the department continues to believe that the order requiring masking in the transportation corridor is a valid exercise of the authority Congress has given CDC to protect the public health. That is an important authority. The department will continue to work to persevere. Isn't that the CDC's job, to protect the public health? Can't they be like, hey, yo, I think if you wear a mask for the next 2 weeks, what if they said, if you wear masks for the next 2 weeks, we're out of this and it's over? Would people wear masks then? Would that be something they'd be prone to do then? Mint Barracuda, what's up? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying this is a thing. This is a thing, and we need to really consider that. Look, I am not saying that people shouldn't have their freedoms. It's hard to sell people on freedom when people are dying because they're getting sick, and the way that a lot of people stopped dying was because they got vaccinated and they continued to wear masks. And then all of a sudden, on airplanes and on trains and on buses, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You don't need to wear a mask anymore because a judge said so in Florida, of all places. No offense to people who live in Florida or born there. Just saying. Here's another story that kind of caught my attention. I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but I'll kind of word for word this for you. 3 sailors who served on the USS George Washington died within a week. In the same week. A sailor was found unresponsive on the USS Washington this past Friday. That unidentified sailor was taken to Riverside Regional Medical Center in Newport News, where the service member was pronounced dead. The cases of 2 sailors who were found deceased on April 9th and 10th as well. There are no immediate signs that these 3 deaths are connected to each other. The Navy doesn't believe that they are, but isn't that wild? 3 people arbitrarily die on one ship within a week. I find that odd. Saying John Kirby, the Pentagon press secretary, told reporters that he doesn't believe that the investigators or the Navy investigators, that is, are aware of any indications that those incidents are related. He says that's what they believe right now, and I think we need to give them time to properly investigate these deaths. The Navy identified the sailor who died on April 9th off base in Portsmouth as Retail Services Specialist 3rd Class Michael Sharp. Interior Communications Electrician 3rd Class Natasha Huffman was found dead, also off base in Hampton on April 10th. The Navy is cooperating with NCIS. Yes, that's a real thing. And local authorities where these incidents have occurred to determine the facts. Man, this world is wild. I would be super nervous about being on a ship with 3 of my shipmates just arbitrarily died. And these are all young folks too. Yeah, I'd be a little nervous. Mint Barracuda says hello, Gliss. We should say hello back. Hello, Mint Barracuda. How you doing? Good to see you. Let us know where you guys are from too. Like, for example, Jill's in Illinois, Jean's in Oregon, Patricia's in Wisconsin. If you like T-Pain, he calls it Wisconsin. Ancient Spiders in Cali. Good to see you all today on the drive. Thank you. Truly appreciate it. With that in mind, if you'd like to send a chat, and you can see me right now, you're watching on your Echo Show device, and you know, which is a fabulous thing to have in your home. All you have to do is just say ham and eggs. I'll be really glad when you just say, you know, and then you say it and start chatting with us. And if you're just listening to us right now, which is fine as well, on your Echo speaker, I kind of like that actually. You can go to backchannel.tv and just join the chat. Click on that. Also, click on the subscribe button while you're there too. Leave us a review if you like. Please, though, whatever you do, if you're listening, go to backchannel.tv. As if Puerto Rico hasn't been through enough, they had a cyber attack and it shut down their toll collection system. And that's not good. Authorities in Puerto Rico said on Tuesday that an electronic toll collection system was the target of a cyber attack over the weekend, the latest such incident in recent years. So what is up? I've been wanting to ask this question for a while since Donald Trump 3-pointed all those toilet paper towels at people when the hurricane hit Puerto Rico a few years ago. How much it's a United States territory. I'm not questioning that. But how much does the US really care about that territory? They don't seem to really, what's the word? We haven't given them statehood. And it seems like Puerto Ricans living on that island would probably appreciate that. You know? Cyber attacks and infrastructure is weird, and your former dumb president shooting paper towels at people. You know, can we not show a little bit more of a concern as a country to the people of Puerto Rico? I should ask Chewy because Chewy is in Puerto Rico. Just weird, man. And that they're so easily being attacked. And I mean, the government told us 2 days ago to be on the lookout for potential cyber attacks from Russia because the Russians are mad. Did you guys know that there's a new suicide prevention number? I did not know that. I think it's 989. Let's talk about it a little bit. With just 3 months until, and this is from Axios, so you know it's thorough and it's clean and it's neat. With just 3 months until 988 is launched as a shortcut to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, advocates are concerned that relatively few people know about it. So, Gliss, can you do me a favor? Can you put on our screen, I forgot it as quick as I learned it, 988 being the suicide prevention number, and let's just flash that up there every now and then, because here's what I've learned. You don't know what people are going through, and and that's just not the people who are hanging out with us watching the show. You don't know what people are going through, and somebody needs somebody to talk to. In a few months, this number is going to be available to everybody. It's 988, and I'm a strong advocate of, if you need to talk to somebody, you should talk to someone. I will offer that invitation up for folks who are watching the show. If you feel like it's going south on you and you need to talk, I don't know how, I'm not a professional, but I will keep on here long enough for you to not want to do whatever it is you're trying to do. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. It's a real thing. I've got a couple of friends that have killed themselves. It is not pleasant for the people who are left. There are a lot more questions than there are answers, and you owe it to yourself to be able to have at least a chance to talk to someone. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's really interesting. The current number, by the way, is 1-800-273-8255. That number will change to 988 on July 16th. So if you need to call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, or Lifeline, it's 1-800-273-8255 until July 16th, and it'll then become 988. One of the reasons why I'm talking about this in this fashion is that number of the number of suicides is super high amongst teenage LGBTQ plus youth. And it has been for a long time. When I used to teach, one of the things that we used to talk about with our kids was, our kids that were gay, was you always have somebody to talk to. Even if I don't live the same lifestyle you live, you always have someone to talk to. And these kids don't have anybody to talk to. Can you imagine? It's bad enough being a teenager.
Yeah, it is.
It's bad enough being a teenager.
I can't imagine in this day and age with social media and those.
Everybody can see what you're doing. That pressure, man. So it's very real to say to you, and to take this moment away from the show to make that plea, man. If you know children, and it's not just LGBTQ plus children. A lot of children have been feeling the weight of COVID. There's a whole world of people who couldn't have a formal graduation, and their school was at home, and it's affecting them. And you don't know what someone's going through. You can't read a person's mind. So again, 800-273-8255 is the current phone number. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number will change to 988. Okay? I don't want to wig you out. I'm just saying we can do better. We can absolutely do better.
Still one of the leading causes of deaths, especially amongst young people.
Exactly. And the fact that those numbers are like 40% of the suicides are young people, and most of them are in that LGBTQ plus community. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't.
My sophomore year of high school, one of my best friends, he committed suicide, and I still think about him to this day, just like how young he was, how much he didn't know yet.
Yeah.
You know, when you're so young, things feel so heavy and so important.
And you got help. You got help out here. You really do.
Yeah.
It says again, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I'm just saying if there's a way and you need help, there's help available to you. So write those numbers down, and don't forget, man, 988 as of July 16th for the National Suicide Lifeline. That's important. Now, here's another thing that's important, and this I think we're going to have to think on, Bliss, to figure out a way that we can start doing something to play a bigger part, and maybe getting our passengers to do something. I don't know how we do this. I don't like producing the show on the show, but we gotta think about it. So the world is hungry. It is not a secret that the world is hungry. Every night, 9% of the world goes to bed hungry. That's 700 million people roughly. There's a way that we can do this and fix it. There are organizations like Feeding America, who I'm super fond of. There's an organization here in Chicago called Austin's Harvest. These young people built a produce here in the city, in a food desert. And if you're not familiar with food deserts, imagine a community like Chicago, or a city like Chicago. Chicago has 77 communities inside this bigger city. In roughly, and I'm not gonna give you the exact number because I don't know it, but I'll say at least 20 of those communities, they have food deserts, plots of land where there's no fresh food or fresh produce available for people to eat. They have to go out of their neighborhood or out of their community to go get it. And that's a problem. What's happening right now, food prices are going up. And as food prices go up, it's harder to get people food to eat, thus increasing poverty and poor health, et cetera, et cetera. Not to mention that food waste is rising as well. About 1.6 billion tons of food that's produced. We're projected to waste 2.1 billion tons by 2030. That's a lot of food. The war isn't helping. COVID didn't help. None of this stuff is help. But there are things you can do. Consider donating to a local food bank. No Kid Hungry is another great organization. Care International, of course. World Central Kitchen. That is Jose Andres's great organization where he pops up at these disasters. He's in the Ukraine right now, risking his life to feed people. You can volunteer. Feeding America has organizations all around the country that they affiliate with. Here, it's the Greater Food Depository of Chicago. Do that. Homeless shelters. Just things that can be done that you can help. And it would be really good if you could help. Watch what you eat at the store or buy at the store. How much food. And whatever you're not eating, freeze. And also, there's a bunch of new companies that are working to combat food waste and hunger. There's an organization called Imperfect Foods, where the vegetables and stuff don't look so hot, but they're fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Just cosmetically not appealing. They look fine. They're not. Misfits Market is another one. Too Good to Go is a new app that's here in the United States and in Europe, and it will connect people with extra food that eateries would dump at closing. So you can get restaurant quality food for really low prices. And Sanku is fighting malnutrition in Africa by providing local millers with cutting edge tech that adds essential missing nutrients to the flour that they're producing. So there's room to do things. But Gliss would like to do something with Feeding America because that's the quickest way to get the word out to the people who watch this show. So we should probably talk about that, and people should look forward to us talking about it. And I would dare say that the folks at Backchannel would be behind something like that. And I want to ask that for the rest of the show today, we put up Feeding America's info on our screen. I want to make sure that I have it correct. Yep, producing the show during the show. I don't know why I feel compelled to do it, but I just do. It's feedingamerica.com. Feedingamerica.com. You can go there and learn things. You can find out how you can be a volunteer. You can donate. You can do all kinds of stuff. But today, for the rest of the show, let's just leave feedingamerica.com on our screen if we can, so that we can make our contribution for now that way. And we will figure out something bigger that we can do through the whole of Backchannel. How about that? We get everybody involved and put folks in a good place where they can be part of the show. Swift pheasant, rooted cheetah, Anna banana. I like that. Parched penguin. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. It's nice to have folks along on our drive today. Thank you, Gliss. Feedingamerica.org. We're on that. Everybody that's watching this show, I'm not asking you to donate money. I'm just asking you to go to the website so you can learn how you can donate money. You can learn about why Feeding America is important. And you can also find out what's going on in your area so that you can be a part of fixing this. Nobody's coming to save us, man, because if that was the case, the Avengers would have been here years ago. The Super Friends would have been here a long time ago. We're the superheroes. We can fix this. Even if it isn't Feeding America, there's an organization in your neighborhood, in your town, in your suburb, in your rural area, in your part of this country that is helping to feed people. You just got to look. The resources are there in some cases. And in this case, definitely with Feeding America. So go to Feeding America. There it is right there. Look at right there. Feedingamerica.org. Okay. We're going to keep that on the screen for the day today. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate you. Let's take a break. And we come back with Skirt's favorite segment. Oh, it's the community report. Love it. We'll be back in just a moment. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. You're also watching us on YouTube and on your Amazon supported devices. And we thank everybody that's hanging out with us in the back room today. Thank you all. We'll be back right after these words. Everybody, it's The Drive here with, oh man, my voice got real DJ there, Gliss. Did you hear that? Hey, everybody, welcome back. Ooh. Welcome back to The Drive. It's 4:20. Haven't done a thing. Everybody calm down. Appreciate you guys being here today. If you're looking at your screen and you see it, and you're wondering what, in fact, a friend of mine just texted me something. It's happening here in Chicago. Friend Health will be providing free fruit and vegetables tomorrow at 800 East 55th Street here in Chicago at noon. Limited supply, first come, first serve. And you can follow them on follow Friend Health. You can follow Friend Health on Instagram at Friend Health, and it's at Friend Health CHI. At Friend Health CHI. See already. and we're keeping feedingamerica.org. Look at us, feedingamerica.org. Yeah, why not?
I want to say in Portland, my no joke, my favorite event that happens every single year is the Waterfront Blues Festival.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Not only is it a great, I believe it's the biggest on the West Coast. There's more in the South and on the East Coast, but it's it's right on the Willamette River. It's 3 days, 4th of July weekend every year. And, they've raised over $10 million for hunger relief over, since its inception. They used to do a lot of work with Oregon Food Bank. I believe they work with Wheels on Meals and, a bunch of other things. So it's cool to have, like you said, if you just look it up in your area, you're going to find something that, probably is, helping fund organizations like these. And so it's double win for me because I love the festival, great musicians, and it's a great time every summer, but also it's for a good cause. So your money is always going to a good place, and that's a good something to feel good about.
By the way, I think Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat are upstairs, and they're going off the top rope, trying to kill each other as we speak. Yeah, that's why I looked around where is it? And then I did my headphone thing, and I see. So probably some little kids home from school. What is it? 10 minutes to 4 here in Chicago. Yeah, we're getting close. They're home. It's come on, top rope.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to keep that feedingamerica.org thing on there for a minute because I just want people to see it. I want you to understand that there's absolutely something that folks can do to get us out of all this mess that we're in. Because they're not coming. You're looking for someone to come and help. And that person or persons or thing or whatever you think it is, it isn't happening. And if something is coming, it's kind of waiting to see what humans are going to do if you follow. I get choked up. Here's our community report. And to just prove it in the chat, Skirt says, community report with a big exclamation point. Hello, Modest Bear. How you doing? Nice to see you. Well, let's do it. I just had a friend of mine move to Arizona, and apparently 2 wildfires in Arizona collectively consumed 7,600 acres by this morning, as conditions favorable for fires were forecast across much of the Southwest. The tunnel fire was burning about 14 miles northeast of Flagstaff. The fire was measured at more than 6,000 acres Tuesday afternoon, U.S. Forest officials said. U.S. Forest Service officials said. No containment had been achieved by early evening. Multiple communities near the fire were under mandatory evacuations with the Coco Nino. Ooh, that won't be on the blooper reel. Got it. The Coco Nino County Sheriff's Office telling residents of the Timberline and Moon Crater areas to leave immediately. Coco Nino County Sheriff Jim Driscoll said the fire moved so quickly that it was difficult to get deputies in the neighborhoods to help evacuate residents. Quote, the fire was moving so fast, many of those officers were in harm's way themselves, he said on Tuesday. Driscoll said his department fielded calls about a man trapped in his burning home but were unable to get to him, and about children possibly left at a house in an evacuation zone. Subsequent checks on most of the reports of children at home turned up empty residences, he said. Word on the fate of anyone missing will have to wait until it's safe for authorities to go into burn areas. At least 2 dozen structures were estimated lost, and more than 250 structures are threatened, he said. And that would be Jim Driscoll. County spokesperson Trey Williams, that's not his real name, said evacuations covered an estimated 766 households with a little more than 2,000 people in the area. Williams said residents were versed in the state's Ready, Set, Go program, which informs residents to pack up and be prepared to flee in emergencies. Some communities not under mandatory evacuations were at a set status Tuesday evening, praying hard for the folks in Arizona. Well, I'm planning on visiting Arizona really soon. I don't want to go there and it's all burnt up. That's no fun. We from time to time have stories that are just they fall in the line of head shakers. This is another one of them. A California man And you folks in California that went through this, I'm sorry for you. I really am. A California man has been charged with arson after being accused of lighting a 5 alarm fire that destroyed a Home Depot in San Jose earlier this month as he tried to steal a cart full of tools. Dylan J. Cruz Gouget, or Gauju, 27, was hit with charges including aggravated arson, 7 counts of grand theft, and 3 counts of petty theft, the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office announced in a news release. Prosecutors said he intentionally lit the inferno in an aisle of the Home Depot on Blossom Hill Road on April 9th. The flames sent employees and customers running for their lives. This was the fire that was big enough to see in space. The flames sent employees and customers running for their lives, raised the entire 98,827 square foot store and caused an estimated $17 million in inventory loss, prosecutors said. The fire was allegedly set the same day Gogu went on a theft spree. He allegedly stole items from a local Bass Pro Shop earlier in the day, lit the fire around 5:30 local time, and tried to leave Home Depot with a cart containing tools, the news release stated. He was stopped by a Home Depot employee and fled in another person's car, then later stole items from a nearby Macy's. Miraculously, no one was hurt in this 5 alarm fire that was so hot and so large that it could be detected from a satellite in space. But it came close, far, far too close to causing many injuries and deaths, Rosen said. The National Weather Service's San Francisco office said the heat signature was so large from the fire that it was observed from space. More than 100 firefighters tackled the blaze, and it took 12 hours to quell. This dude was on something. He was arrested Friday and arraigned on Tuesday. He didn't enter a plea at the hearing. He's due back in court for a plea hearing on June 1st. The sentence for the charges are 14 years to life in prison if convicted. Wow. Can you imagine that? You're in California, chilling, minding your own business, and then a fire breaks out, and you can somebody on the International Space Station is like, what's going on in California? It looks like a fire. From space? Guided buzzard. Hey now, what's happening, Modest Bear? Everybody. Hello. This is a story we talked about a few months ago. This is also in California. Jacqueline Avant, the wife of the man that is known as the Black Godfather, Clarence Avant, was murdered, and murdered a few months ago, and a California man was sentenced to 190 years in jail for the murder of Jacqueline Avant. Ariel Maynard, 30, was also sentenced for trying to kill Avant's security guard during a robbery December 1st at the Beverly Hills home Avant shared with her husband, Clarence. Maynard, who pled guilty last month to 1 count of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and 2 counts of burglary, will not be eligible for early parole. That's just sad. I don't really have much follow-up for that. She didn't deserve that. And Clarence Avant is that dude. None of them deserve that at all. Bliss, you know what time it is. It is time for the segment we've been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, we introduce to you the further adventures of Florida Man. Yep, it works. It's going to work every time, too. Here's a story. Florida man mauled by tigers explains why he entered the cage. A man mauled by a tiger at an airboat attraction in March is speaking out for the first time. And this is from, I want to make sure I give them credit because God knows they're the best. WESH News. News 2. And this is from Okeechobee, Florida. A man mauled by a tiger at an airport attraction in March is speaking out for the first time. The attack occurred on March 22nd at Wooten's Everglades Airboat Tours in Okeechobee, according to the Collier County Sheriff's Office. According to Wooten's website, the attraction includes an animal sanctuary that features 2 tigers, 2 lions, otters, turtles, crocodiles, and alligators. All the standard things you need in your Florida Man kit, by the way. You got to have an alligator. So if you're going to go to Florida, you're going to be Florida Man, remember, you got to have a baby alligator is preferred. Ignacio Meabi Martinez, 48, told NBC2 he was working as a mechanic for the airboat company when he decided to enter the boat where Daisy, an 18-year-old Siberian tiger, and Duraba, a 15-year-old Bengal tiger, had just finished eating. Meabi Martinez said he saw a piece of chicken on the ground in the cage and went to throw it to the tigers. I'm going to quote him. I hope you're sitting. I got down on the ground when I throw her the chicken, Meabi Martinez said, and the tiger got my hand back and forth. He said both tigers began biting both of his hands. Meabi Martinez admitted he wasn't meant to have any contact with the tigers. Quote, I'm just crazy. I don't know what happened. Close quote. The attack left him with serious wounds to both of his arms. Meabi Martinez said he blacked out while being pulled from the cats. My bone. I couldn't move my bone. I couldn't move my hand. The rest of the day, I don't remember. Oh, man. Meabi Martinez has recently returned home after multiple weeks in the hospital. He lost the tip of his left middle finger, but has full motion in both arms. Doctors say everything is good, he said. In December, a custodial worker was mauled by a tiger at Naples Zoo at Caribbean Gardens after entering an unauthorized area. A Collier County deputy shot the animal as its jaws were wrapped around the man's arm. And that, get ready to play it again, Gliz, that is the adventure for today of Florida Man. That is so awesome.
And it only took one day to use it. Imagine that.
And this morning I was like, Florida Man, I wonder if I can, and I found him. Bless his heart. Thank you, Gliss. That's awesome. My bone. I cannot feel my hands. When we come back, we will restart the show for folks who missed the first hour. Thank you to all of our passengers who are driving with us today. Skirt. Yep, a Florida Man kit. Exactly. If you're going to do it, you got to have a baby alligator. Just remember that. Oh, boy. And you know the funny thing, and then I'll break, that open, we can keep adding weird stuff to it because it's just weird stuff. It doesn't even matter what it is. It's just that open could be like 20 minutes long.
Oh, yeah. There'll be more added.
I'm the luckiest man in the world. This is The Drive with Mario Smith. Thank you to all of our passengers checking us out on The Drive. We'll tell you how you can become part of the show in just a little bit. It's The Drive here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. And we'll be right back. My What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Drive, hour 2 of The Drive here. I'm Mario Smith, and on your screen, you see feedingamerica.org. We are throwing the weight of the show today behind feedingamerica.org. We encourage you to go to feedingamerica.org, learn how you can become a volunteer in your area, learn about food banks where you live, learn about how you can donate, learn about all those things. And we have plans for the future, and we will have to somehow work those plans out. But for today, go to feedingamerica.org. That will be the people that we are throwing our support behind today. Me, Bliss, you, everybody at Backchannel today. We're all going to visit the website. We're going to get educated, and then we're all going to figure out how we can help, because we need to be able to help. Thank you all for being here today. It's Wednesday at Programming Note. Of course, it's Wednesday. That means we won't be here tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for more mirth and definitely some merriment. Let me bring in my man, Jay Gliss from Oregon. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
How's it going?
This is a good day today. Good show so far. Nobody's gotten hit in the head. We had a man that yelled, "My bone." So that's funny.
My bone. What did he say? I don't know. I'm just crazy.
I don't know. I'm just crazy.
That quote pretty much says all you need to know.
That is the greatest quote from a man that is crazy, who actually went and admitted, I don't know. I'm crazy. I'm wacky. I just go in the cages. I see chicken. He saw a chicken on the ground and was like, "Oh man, I should pick up that chicken. That's not sanitary. Let me go grab that. Let me go into a cage with 2 animals and get it." The worst that happened to him, though, is that he lost the tip of his finger. That could have been exponentially worse. That could have been
I've done one of those airboat things in the Everglades, because once when we went to Florida, that was like my dad. He really wanted to do that.
Yeah,
and I was pretty nervous about it. I was a teenager, but man, you wouldn't want to fall in.
You're dead.
It's like you're going through I mean, it's so scary too, because it's like just this giant park of swamp and grass that's higher than you are when you're in one of those airboats, and they're whipping it around.
Oh yeah,
driving through the grass, and you'll see alligators and giant poisonous turtles, and it's like, all right, why are we doing this?
No, my friend. Let me tell you who won't be seeing that. Me. I am not going anywhere near it. No.
I was
and not to mention, because we know the power of Florida man, that story could have went 16 different ways. He could have had on a jetpack and flew away with a tiger attached to his arm. Oh man, Florida man. God bless Florida. And again, I cannot, the stellar production work on your part of coming up with a man in a panda head dancing. Bravo. That's good stuff.
As I said, that'll have to get added on to. We'll have to find little flares.
It's going to take
different Florida man stories.
It's going to take us 10 minutes to get to Florida man for that package to just start. Oh, I can't wait. I'm here for all of it.
One thing I didn't tell you, because it was just kind of I had a meeting this morning about the show that was a little bit short, and so I was in here, and I was like, I don't really feel like doing anything else. So I actually opened up Apple Logic, and I was starting to come up with a music bed for the Florida Man segment.
Oh,
I just didn't have time to finish it. So next time we have a Florida Man story, there may be
I get that music underneath it for the whole time.
A dedicated Florida Man soundtrack for those segments. I mean, he deserves it.
You get the Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan fist pump for that.
That's in the works.
Oh man, what a lucky man I am. And now the thing is, we can't do Florida Man every day. But then again, actually we could, because there was one that I didn't pull up about a dude had hit someone, and at the scene of the accident, he was drunk. He got back in his car and ran over the body of the person he hit. The person lived.
That's almost not good enough.
And then I read about Ignacio, and I was like, oh, he didn't say, I don't know, I'm just crazy.
Right.
That made it. The other one was a little bit too serious.
He was he was like a disappointing Florida man. It was lots of people have done that.
And he wasn't superhero level Florida man. He was more like just a dude that lived in Florida that was drunk. That guy is Florida man. Oh man, yeah. That dude was the Chamber of Commerce picture of Florida man, Ignacio. I don't know. I'm just crazy. Oh, God bless you. These are the stories that are making headlines at the top of the hour. A South Carolina's highest court just issued a temporary stay blocking the state from carrying out what was said to be its first ever firing squad execution. The order by the state Supreme Court puts on hold, at least temporarily, the planned April 29th execution of Richard Bernard Moore, who drew the death sentence for the 1999 killing of convenience store clerk James Mahoney in Spartanburg. The court said in issuing the temporary stay that it would release a more detailed order later. Attorneys for the 57-year-old inmate had sought a stay, citing pending litigation in another court challenging the constitutionality of South Carolina's execution methods, which also include the electric chair. Moore's lawyers also wanted time to ask the U.S. Supreme Court to review whether Moore's sentence was proportionate to his crime. And in a little bit more lighter news, Carnival in Rio is back. Rio de Janeiro's Mayor Eduardo Paes on Wednesday ceremonially handed control of the city to King Momo, a ritual representing the upheaval of the status quo. But it remains to be seen how much post-pandemic partying is in store during the first Carnival in 2 years. Samba schools, elaborate floats, and feather-festooned dances will parade between packed beachers. No, that's bleachers. Starting Wednesday night. As for the more than 500 street parties that usually, you think I have been to Carnival already. As for the more than 500 street parties that usually run wild throughout the city, City Hall refused to grant them authorization, claiming it lacked sufficient time to prepare. And those are the headlines at the top of the hour. Always interesting to see pictures from Carnival. I've never been to one. Lord knows I'd like to. For the folks that are on our Backchannel.tv feed here in our chat, William, Suki, how you doing? Sturdy Margay, hello, and everyone else. If you want to chat with us and you're watching us now, right, you can go on your Echo Amazon supported device, say, hey, Correxa, and get into the chat that way. And if you can't see me and you're listening on an Echo speaker, go to backchannel.tv so you can be part of the show as well. And when you get to backchannel.tv, right, you'll see a subscribe button. Subscribe, hit the button, and then I'll know, one, if you subscribe or not. I don't know. And then you'll know when we come on the air. And we got a lot of cool stuff planned, so we want you to be a part of it. And me and Glissa are really working hard. So we want you guys to be in on it. When we come back, we're going to have the entertainment report, although I don't think anything is going to top Florida, man, because that was pretty damn good. But among the stories we're talking about, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are going to make another movie together. And I'm not so sure that the story is going to get told properly from two dudes from Boston. But hey, what do I know? And is Nirvana... That's not their name. Is Nirvana an oldies band? We'll talk about it in just a moment. It's the Drive with Mario Smith right after these words. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome, William. Thank you for joining. Please consider subscribing. Since you're here and all, we would appreciate that. Subscribe, my man. Subscribe, brother. Be involved. Get in where you fit in. We're also going to talk about what is going on with Ezra Miller. Is he going through something? He's been arrested twice. Is he making the move? He's the Flash, right? He's the Flash. It's not a good look. I sense there'll be a new Flash really soon because you can't go around continuing to do that. You can't. So here's some interesting news regarding Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. They are teaming up on a movie that will tell the story of former Nike executive Sonny Vaccaro and Nike co-founder and Gliss's best buddy Phil Knight attempted to sign Michael Jordan to an endorsement deal in the 1980s, according to Boris Kitt Boris Kitt is the person's name, of the Hollywood Reporter. Affleck will serve as the project's director, along with being a writer, producer, and one of the co-stars portraying Knight. Damon will also write and produce on the project and portray Vaccaro. Per that report, the story will focus on Vaccaro's relentless quest to sign Jordan to what was then the third place shoe company, a journey that took him to Jordan's parents, and in particular his powerful, dynamic mother, as well as to former coaches, advisors, and friends. Jordan will not be portrayed in the film, instead serving as a mythic figure hovering above the movie and never seen. The eventual deal between Nike and Jordan launched the company into the global powerhouse that it is today after the Chicago Bulls superstar became the third. Oh, no, he wasn't the third anything. He is the GOAT. Before he became the best player in the NBA in the late 1980s and 90s. The Jordan brand line of sneakers remains an iconic style, with sneakerheads clamoring to add its various iterations to their collections. I always get nervous when people make movies like this. I think I could go for it. I watch it. It would be interesting. And yeah, without having a Michael Jordan character in it, I'm kind of like, that might not be the worst idea, but I'm still, just leave Mike alone. He did The Last Dance. What do people want? He did The Last Dance. That was enough. Hell, The Last Dance was really dope, to be honest. The Last Dance saved us during the pandemic. Yeah. When I almost got kicked out of my apartment for celebrating because of an event that happened in the 90s. I kind of got a little carried away. Some millennials, I'll tell you about it one day. Some millennials and members of Generation X on TikTok are feeling angst after a debate about whether Nirvana is classified as an oldie broke out on the app. That question has launched TikTok into a tizzy over how you have to say it like that, over how the genre of oldies is defined by Generation Z. The debate began after user Ari Elkins, 21, posted a TikTok on April 4th as part of a series he titled Oldies You Should Know. In the first installment, which has been viewed more than 2.8 million times. I can't get anybody to watch a video of mine 3 times. Elkins chose the song Something in the Way off the band's landmark 1991 album Nevermind. Quote, I totally understand why a Gen Z TikToker would classify Nirvana as an oldie, because that person doesn't have a real sense of what that term used to mean, said Jack Hamilton, associate professor of media studies and American studies at the University of Virginia. Although experts understood why Elkins might think of Nirvana as an oldie, the commenters went ballistic. Quote, bro, this ain't an oldie, bro. One person wrote. Another person wrote, oldies, with a bunch of question marks. I like that, bro. This ain't an oldie, bro.
It's bro. We get a lot of that in the house. It's bruh.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, bruh. This ain't an oldie, bruh. bruh.
And it drives me insane. I almost dropped the F-bomb there. I thought about it. Whoops.
Oh, really? Don't please. If you do, I got your back. But I haven't done it yet, so you can't do it without me doing. I got to do it first.
Luckily, I think I've gotten good enough at I'm thinking I'm saying it, but then not saying it.
In my head, I have a whole different conversation.
It happened quickly, like it was coming out, and then my brain was able to stop it before it came out.
I can tell you really don't like bruh. Hey, bruh.
I don't, no.
Yeah. Is that one of those things that gets Papa Gliss upset?
Yeah. Cut it out.
Oh, oldies, bruh. Really? It came out in '91. Someone else commented.
I'm on this guy's side though.
You think it's an oldie?
Yeah, because okay,
Really?
well, I think it depends on what the parameters are, but I make the argument that okay, so first of all, the classic rock station here, I believe, does play some Nirvana and Pearl Jam and bands like that, and they just started in the last couple years. But I'm thinking about it in like a radio way that I believe classic rock, the first classic rock station was in like 1985. So if you think about that, like a lot of those bands like that, you know, because it was mostly 60s and 70s, but some of those bands like Led Zeppelin and, you know, Aerosmith, some of those bands were still making new records in the late 70s. So not that long before they were considered classic rock. And Nirvana's last album was what, 25, 26 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I was just going to say, they're pushing. Gary T says, "Don't tase me, bruh." It's gonna be a thing now. You shouldn't have told people you don't like it. It seems like they would fall into the oldies category because it's been over 30 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and for their first album, yeah, when they first got together, I was the late 90s, and I think their first, you know, kind of big major album was 1991, I believe. And like I said, their last album that they released was 1994, I think.
Yeah.
And that's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. But I mean, I guess because, you know, it's funny, man. I thought about I was in Cloud City. That's my bedroom. I was in Cloud City and I was thinking, I'm like, man, I don't feel like I'm old. And I started listening to some music on my phone and looking at what year the music came out.
Weird.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And inside, I don't feel like that, but I guess I am. Foolish Octopus, Mom in Texas, and a couple of no names, all new folks, and Sturdy Margate. Thank you all. Ratty Mouse this year. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. I'm back and forth on whether or not it's it depends on what your definition of 30 years.
Agree.
Okay, then it's an oldie.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it depends on how you're classifying it. I don't think this guy should have been killed for, you know, on social media. Like, no, this is like, man, music's like 30 years old. Kurt Cobain's been dead for 25 plus years. Like,
he sure has, and that also blew my mind. I'm like, I remember that day so clearly. And
that whole time period, if you think about it, like Kurt Cobain and then Tupac and then Biggie, like that was a really, you know, interesting time in music between you know, the grunge rock scene and, you know, where hip hop was at back then. It was a really, really interesting music decade for sure.
Well, I could probably play Kurt Cobain in a movie. Ezra lost his mind. Apparently, arrested for the second time on the island of Hawaii. Miller, 29, was arrested for second-degree assault around 1:30 a.m. on Tuesday following an incident at a private residence in the district of Puna near the town of Paoa, according to the Hawaii Police Department. Quote, during the course of their investigation, police determined that the individual, later identified as the Flash, Ezra Miller, became irate after being asked to leave and reportedly threw a chair, striking a 26-year-old female on the forehead, resulting in an approximate half-inch cut, according to a news release. The woman injured refused treatment. Oh, yeah, because she's going to get some of that Flash money. Just wait till that movie comes out. Last month, Miller, who previously appeared as the Flash in multiple DC superhero films, was arrested in Hilo, Hawaii, and charged with disorderly conduct and harassment after an incident at a bar, according to police. Police say Miller has been released from jail pending further investigation. The Flash is currently slated for release in summer of 2023. What's going on with Ezra? What's going on with him? He was at somebody's house and he got mad because they asked him to leave? Sir, you ain't the Flash. I will catch you. I'll catch you. Get out of the house. What are you, some kind of a nut? Ezra Miller. This guy. He's out here wilding. Well, here's some good news if you like music. And I'm especially psyched about this and pretty excited and ready for it. Kendrick Lamar, who was at a Dodgers game last night, and apparently one of the cameramen like spotted him. And I think that cameraman might be a hip hop head, because there was no way you would know it was Kendrick Lamar unless you knew. You know what I'm saying? Man had on a bucket hat. He was just chilling. It was amazing. Rapper Kendrick Lamar has announced his return, revealing the date of his long-awaited 5th album, almost 8 months after announcing his departure from his longtime label Top Dog Entertainment. The Pulitzer Prize-winning artist revealed his next album, called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, will be released on May 13th. Lamar kept the announcement vague, initially sharing the news on Twitter in response to a tweet reading, "Kendrick Lamar is officially retired." In August, Lamar announced his plans to leave TDE, under which all of his previous albums have been released. This will be his last album under the label, he said at the time. Quote, "As I produce my final TDE album, I feel joy to have been a part of such a cultural imprint after 17 years. The struggles, the success, and most importantly, the brotherhood. May the Most High continue to use Top Dog as a vessel for candid creators as I continue to pursue my life's calling," he wrote. Lamar's last album was 2017's Damn, a highly successful album that went triple platinum and received the Pulitzer Prize, the first rap album to win the coveted award. That is good news. I'm ready for a new Kendrick Lamar album, man. Let's go. Come on. What time? Hurry up. We do not have to wait long for it. I'm ready. And then finally, I thought these two had broken up, but ASAP Rocky was detained at LAX this morning in November of 2021. The rapper was arriving on a private plane from Barbados, where he was with his girlfriend vacationing. His girlfriend being, what's her name? Rihanna. Rakim Mayers, better known as ASAP Rocky, was detained on Wednesday at LAX in connection to a November 2021 shooting, according to multiple law enforcement sources familiar with the matter. Mayers was arriving on a private plane from Barbados, where he had been on vacation with his girlfriend, the singer Rihanna. According to the law enforcement sources, Rihanna was with Mayers when he was arrested, and a search warrant has been executed at Mayers' residence in Los Angeles. Mayers' attorney, Alan Jackson, confirmed that his client had been arrested. Mayers had been under investigation by the Los Angeles Police Department for a November 6th shooting near Vista Del Mar and Selma Avenue around 10:20 p.m. This is so specific. I don't know where those places are. Do I need to know that? The shooting victim later told police that Mayers, who was walking with 2 others, approached him with a handgun on the street. The victim claimed Mayers shot at him 3 to 4 times and believed one of his bullets grazed his left hand, according to police reports. The shooting had not yet been reported in the media. In a statement on Twitter after publication of this article, the LAPD gave details of the November incident and said, "Early this morning, LAPD officers arrested Mayers for assault with a deadly weapon at the Los Angeles International Airport. The case will be presented to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for filing consideration." This is interesting. LAPD made the arrest with assistance from Immigration and Customs Enforcement Homeland Security Investigations team. In January, Rihanna announced that she was pregnant with her first child. In March, she told the magazine Elle she was in her 3rd trimester. The singer turned 34 in February. In 2019, Mayers, now 33, was arrested in Sweden after a fight on the street began between his entourage and 2 men. Then President Donald Trump fought for his release, warning Sweden it would face negative consequences if he was not freed. What they gonna do to Sweden? What is? He was convicted of. I'm getting mad. The man's not president anymore. Calm down, Mario. He was convicted of assault, given a suspended prison sentence, and had to pay more than $1,000 in damages. He served a month in jail before the sentence was handed down. So he did not have to serve any additional time. Representatives for ASAP Rocky and Rihanna did not immediately respond to requests for comment. And that's the entertainment news for today. What's going on back here? Becky's here, Deep Lemur, Foolish Octopus. They're all here. Thank you all for being part of the drive today. Gary T, you too, man. Thank you. Don't tase me, bro. Do you remember that, Gliss? Don't tase me, bro. Hey, bro. Don't tase me. and then he zapped his ass. He was help. I loved it. One of the best things I've ever seen. Oh, that was great. Don't ask for something because you'll get it. Don't tell them not to do. It's the opposite game with the police. Hey, don't arrest me. You're under arrest. Don't tase me. Zip, zip. Sweet. I love it.
I mean, there's good things and bad things about the internet. That's definitely one of the good things.
Oh, that was one of the greatest acts of kindness that's ever befallen anyone on the internet. I loved it. When we come back, we'll have the Dylan T. Pickles Unipiper Sports page. Among the things, Kyrie Irving being fined and people fighting about the fact that he got fined. Something's going on with Jokic because he really is being a mean guy all of a sudden. And we've got other things, including scores. Just to give you a hint of my mood, White Sox lose their first game 10-1. Actually, that game was over in the second inning. We'll be back. Game 1 of 2. We'll be back in just a moment here on The Drive with Mario Smith. Everybody take a breath. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the Dylan T. Pickles Sports page with his associate person, the Unipiper. I'm learning all these things about Oregon. I got to meet both of them. It has to happen. It just has to happen. So Kyrie Irving did the whole thing the other night when the Nets played the Boston Celtics. And he double birded folks, but he did it behind his head so that you couldn't see it on TV and got fined $50,000 for it. I can tell you here in Chicago, the big fight amongst all the sports radio people is whether or not they're all mad at Stephen A. and that loud guy. What's his name? Russo. I should know his name because I turn the TV off every time he comes on. Just saying. And whether or not people should be defending Kyrie Irving. Look, here's the deal. And it was a good point that was made this morning. The NBA is one of those leagues where you can interact with your fans. The problem is some fans don't know how to act. For example, Devin Booker slid out of bounds. There's a little baby courtside. He fist bumps the baby. Everybody loves that. Why wouldn't you? That's cute and that's kind of cool. Steph Curry is leaving the court. Some dude is yelling at him for an autograph. He walks past that guy and he high fives a little girl. That's cool. How can you not like that, right? The player gives a kid his shoes, signs a jersey for somebody, takes a selfie. Those things are amazing. These people in Boston apparently said some things to Kyrie Irving that were just out of pocket. He goes and repeats them at a press conference. Everybody's mad at Kyrie. I hardly hear anybody talking about the fans that did all that crazy in Boston. I would love to refer everyone to the Malice in the Palace many years ago, where a fan decided that he was not just a fan, but he was a protector of his favorite team, and he got stomped, walked out, like crushed. And that put the whole NBA on notice about touchy-feely with the fans and everything else. And since then, things have kind of loosened up a bit. But here we are. So I'm like, was a $50,000 fine appropriate? That's a tough call. $50,000. He didn't say anything to anybody. I think he probably got fined more for that press conference than for the double bird sighting. But those fans in Boston, if they are not held accountable, feel empowered now. And how do you change that? How do you fix that? That series is getting into crunch time. Somebody's going to have to do something, And I'm just saying, Kyrie Irving is a great player, but he's kind of a weirdo. And if you know he's kind of a weirdo, you are accepting his weirdness as part of the deal. I don't know how long that plays out, though. You can't do that. But we'll see. Interesting tonight. I believe the Nets and the Nuggets. Well, I'm foreshadowing. I believe the Nets and the Celtics go at it again this evening. Hey, Janet, Steve, Becky, how you guys doing? Welcome to the drive. Janet's in North Carolina. Hey, what city in North Carolina, Janet? If you don't mind. I lived there for about a day and a half. Hey, Gliss, what's wrong with Jokic? Why is he so angry and running up on people and fighting everyone?
I don't know. What is. I mean, he's always been a little bit fiery, but I don't know. Yeah, he seems bothered lately.
Yeah. It's like Boogie Cousins came there and was like, hey, man, you're a little bit too nice. I need you to act more like me because I'm out of here. Get it together. Start being mean and pushing people around. There's a video of him at the Chase Center. One of the players gave him the pat on the butt, and he went after him like he wanted to beat him up. He ran after the man. Steph Curry, who is not big as Jokic by any measure, had to stop him. Like, dude, what are you doing? Calm down. There's a little bit of pressure on him. I want him to come to the Bulls one day, but I don't need all that. Actually, you know what? That wouldn't be bad in this part of the world because everybody's pushing my boys around. That's why I got this hat on with 6,000 logos on it because I need them to win tonight in the worst way. This series with the Bulls and the Bucks is going south. Should have won that game the other day. Don't you hate that when your team is supposed to win a game and they have it and then they don't finish? It's kind of like, man, you had the chance right there. Like if you look at the Pelicans last night, they beat the Phoenix Suns. That was the game. They needed to get a game on the road and they got one. Same thing tonight with the Bulls. They need a game on the road. Tonight's the night before they come back here this weekend to what could be a black and red funeral, not a blue and red funeral. That's a different kind of thing. So I was just wondering, man, because I've been noticing, dude is very, he's very uptight about stuff all the time. Are you familiar with the NIL money, Gliss?
I am not.
So NIL contracts are essentially contracts that colleges are giving kids so that they can get money. And the Athletic made a report in early March that a 5-star 2023 recruit signed a $8 million NIL deal.
Jesus.
With the school's donor collective. And it's the highest known deal to date, but it seems to be spreading. A 4-star receiver landed a deal that'll pay him more than $1 million over the next 4 years in exchange for his exclusive NIL rights. A defensive lineman ranked among the top 10 at his position received a 3-year deal worth $1 million, and a 3-star defensive lineman signed for $500,000 over 5 years. The latter two are non-exclusive. The NILs create a situation where you can basically buy players, Alabama coach Nick Saban said. You can do it in the recruiting. I mean, if that's what we want college football to be, I don't know. But here's the thing. Do we want college football to be kids don't get any money and they have to suffer and then they have to get jobs in order to be able to eat? And then you got these dumb NCAA rules that won't let them accept donations from people? Or do you have the NILs where they can be selling pizza on a commercial, a television station in a town where everybody goes to eat pizza and they like Alabama. I mean, it's a big question how they're gonna do this, but they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. There's no, oh, what are we going to do? No, sit and figure it out. Like I told you before, man, I went, and I'm sure you could say the same thing about Oregon. I went past Louisville's campus one day. I was like, oh my God, that's where all the money went. Their campus is beautiful. Yeah, it's a lot of money on that campus.
And sports like football and basketball are what produce a lot of that revenue.
Oh yeah. Particularly basketball. Well, yeah, football and basketball.
Oh yeah, both. I mean, and not only that, they keep donors engaged. Like you mentioned, Phil Knight earlier. He's obviously Oregon guy. He gives money to Oregon, but he also gives money he donates money to Oregon State, who's Oregon's rival. He also gives money to Stanford. I believe he went to business or law school or something there. And
he's just out here like, here's my money.
Yeah, he's just like handing out money to universities. I mean, like, one of the reasons that the University of Oregon became a big football school is because of Nike. And
for sure.
Not a secret. I mean, it's because of the truckloads of money they've received from Phil Knight over the years to create some of the best facilities for recruiting in the country. So, but like you said, it's one thing to be an athlete playing in a really nice place. You're sure it's great when you're on campus and you have the nice facilities, but those kids still aren't. It's not like they're getting anything out of it in terms of living expenses and stuff like that. From all accounts of people that I know that have played college athletics, it's generally a pretty tough thing because you're not usually allowed to get jobs and you're kind of limited because of the fact that you're a student athlete. Your time is kind of organized for you, and so it would be hard to sustainable living outside of when you're playing sports.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Hey, I say more power to them. Get all the money you can, kid. After as much money as your forebears did not get, get all the money that you can. By the way, you're here with me, Mario, here on The Drive with Mario Smith, and I'm your host along with Jay Bliss, who's in Portland, Oregon. And you're live here on Backchannel. It's the only place that you can check us out on your Echo device. And you can check us out and listen to live shows and chat with us in real time. I'm here Monday through Wednesday and Friday from 4 p.m. Eastern time. So send me a chat. You can ask questions. You can chime in, ask us what we're talking about, anything you want. Well, almost anything. Some stuff will get you absolutely kicked out of here. Don't make me pull this over. If you can see me right now, you're watching on an Echo Show device or a Fire TV device. The magic word is say T-Rexa and say hello, and then you'll get in the chat, and it'll be wonderful, and we'll have all kinds of fun. And if you're just listening to us on an Echo speaker, go to backchannel.tv. When you get there, you'll see a subscribe button. Hit that. You'll also see the chat. Get in that, and then we can do our thing, all right? And welcome to everybody that's checking us out right now, by the way, on The Drive. Amy, Claire, Stale Hawk, Tremendous Goose, Brittany in California, all new folks. Thank you so much, Echo. Sean, Janet, all you guys, thanks so much for being on The Drive this afternoon. Jerry West is suing. He's demanding an apology and a retraction from the producers of HBO's Winning Time. He hasn't sued anyone yet. Over the series' portrayal of the Los Angeles Lakers longtime player and executive as a vulgar and unprofessional bully and an out-of-control, intoxicated rageaholic. The letter, which was sent Tuesday to HBO and producer Adam McKay and shared with The Athletic, went on to say the Jerry West in Winning Time bears no resemblance to the real man. The real Jerry West prided himself on treating people with dignity and respect. Winning Time is a baseless and malicious assault on Jerry West's character. Based on author Jeff Pearlman's book Showtime, Magic, Kareem, Riley, and the Los Angeles Lakers Dynasty of the 1980s, the HBO series debuted earlier this year with 7 episodes released so far. After the pilot premiered on March 6, several former Laker employees expressed anger at West's depiction. Among them was longtime trainer Gary Vitti. Gary Vidi's a famous dude who made a cameo in an early episode, but told The Athletic he decided not to continue working on the show, in part due to actor Jason Clarke's portrayal of West. It was a total mischaracterization of Jerry West, Vidi told The Athletic. Vidi's feelings were echoed in the letter from West's lawyers, which included personal testaments from former Lakers Michael Cooper, Jamal Wilkes, Silk, Mitch Kupchak, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, as well as several other former Lakers employees. Man, I still haven't seen this yet. I got to watch it now. They got him as a rageaholic. I don't want to miss that.
It's so good. I love the show. I don't really care if it's not 100% accurate.
But I thought they made it clear that it wasn't 100% accurate.
I know. That's what I mean. And I don't know. I feel like when you watch the show, like you get right away that they're definitely taking, they're definitely like you can tell. It's like there's like a sensational aspect of it. I think I told you before, like they break the fourth wall a lot. In particular, John C. Reilly's character who plays Dr. Jerry Buss. Right. Like there's a lot of like, just kind of like theatrical like things that they do that makes you like the story itself is very engaging, but the entertainment aspect comes kind of from how brash and how seemingly over the top it is at times.
Yeah. And I get that feeling. I just saw a clip. They were filming Julius Erving scene, and they recreated the dunk.
Yeah.
And the dude looked so much like Dr. J. I was like, oh my God. They did really good on casting for this show.
Really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to sit and watch it because now I can see it because and
the guy that plays Jerry West, I mean, he looks like Jerry West. The guy that plays Magic is phenomenal as Magic Johnson. He just captures that kind of aura that Magic Johnson has so well.
Notice you haven't heard anything from Magic or Shaq about Jerry West not being portrayed properly.
Yeah, and I think I actually was curious when I think it was the first or second episode I had checked, and Magic Johnson just had some quotes that it was like that it's not completely accurate because it can't really capture that time period, and that makes sense coming from him. He's like, I lived it. Like you can't capture that in a TV show,
right?
But I think they try. But I mean, like I said, it almost feels like a Quentin Tarantino movie at times. Like it's just kind of like there's just this kind of element of like the entertainment is put ahead of the story because the story is just engaging enough that it doesn't have to be perfectly true all the time. It's kind of trying to capture this moment in time of a team. It talks a lot about the Laker girls and like all these things that they did as an organization to try to really make the Lakers like this hot commodity. It's not all just about the basketball story.
And which is probably that feeling I keep talking about when I go, what happened to the Lakers? Because they don't have that same edge anymore. It's not, they're not part of the Hollywood anymore. And I think that is what it is. Because they were as much a part of Hollywood as the stars on the Walk of Fame.
Oh, and that's the thing. Like I said, the fact that some people are upset with how they're characterized is not shocking to me, and I don't think it will be to anybody that watches the show. Because I think if you're a reasonably smart person, you're like, okay, they probably took some liberties here, like in how they portrayed this person or this particular thing. But like I said, it really is more about what you're talking about, where Jerry Buss, he was kind of like, it was all a smokescreen. He was really just a guy that had bought the team and was running out of money fast and was trying to think of all these ways to kind of like, make this whole persona of what the Lakers were. And that's really what, to me, what the story is about. It's not as much about, the specific basketball sides of everything. It's kind of more broad than that.
He reminds me a lot of, that's what most professional sports are missing now. They're owned by businesses, corporations. They're not owned by showmen, like dudes that know how to put on a show, that are entertainment guys, that happen to own sports teams.
Very few like that anymore.
Yeah, if you find them, let me know, because those are the dudes I want to be around. I think that they're fun.
I think Mark Cuban's probably
the closest.
He's the best like modern example of an owner that's just like he just wants to be there and like with all of his heart is like in love with the idea that he owns that team.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. I think that makes it. I think that gives the fans a chance to not feel like there's such a chasm between the team and the fan, because when a corporation buys it, it waters it down significantly.
Yes,
this was a very informative sports report, considering we talked about a man who got his bone hurt today.
My bone hurt.
And what earlier this week, Tequila Kids and all kinds of things. We've had quite the week. We're gonna
speaking of bones, there's something on bones coming in. Did you know? So
I have not looked today. I haven't looked at it. I'm gonna wait until right before I have to, and then I'm gonna jump right in on it. Texas says hi, by the way. Hello, Texas. Claire is here. Hello, Claire. Brittany and Janet, and no name, and no name, and no name, and all of you. Gina, thank you. Everybody, thank you so much for being on the drive through. Gina's in Ohio. What's up, Ohio? Hello, Ohio. When we come back, we'll have something that you can. Oh God, I hope this is safe for work. We'll have something you can take to the dinner table or to the water cooler if they still have those. Or you can make sure your child doesn't pack tequila in its lunch bag tomorrow. It's did you know? No, not did you know. It's front of mind, and then we'll do the did you know. We'll be back in just a moment. It's the drive here on Backchannel.tv. All right, we'll do this together because I totally okay. Oh God. There are two of these. I see. All right, here's one. Researchers in Australia have developed an electronic nose called Nose.E, which can identify differences between 3 blended malt whiskeys and 3 single malt whiskeys made by Johnny Walker, Ardbeg, Chivas Regal, and Macallan in less than 4 minutes with 100% accuracy. The 2018 study found that a third of rare Scotch whiskeys were fake, with some selling for up to $2 million. So Nose.E has the potential to save them a lot of money. Other electronic nose technologies have been used recently to stop illegal wildlife trafficking, assess wastewater treatment, plant odors, identify cancer cells, and recently to detect COVID-19. That comes from the Smithsonian, so you know it's real. And then here's the other one. Genetically modified mosquitoes work as intended. What? It's in Florida. Oh, no, not Florida. Results from a pilot study in Florida where millions of genetically engineered mosquitoes were released into the wild. Some referred to it as the Jurassic Park experiment when it was announced last year. But so far, everything is going to plan, according to UK biotech firm. The experiment is part of a long-term plan to develop new tools in the fight against an invasive mosquito, which can carry dengue, Zika, and other gnarly viruses. That's the name of my new band, by the way, folks, Gnarly Viruses. We're at the Metro here in Chicago for 2 weeks. Genetically modified male mosquitoes were released into the wild to mate with the local females as hoped. Affected female offspring that died before reaching adulthood when they would be able to bite humans and spread disease. Male offspring carried the engineered gene. So these are mosquitoes that won't be able to bite people anymore? Is that what we're hearing? Man, look.
I think they're trying to make them so they don't carry as much virus.
Oh, well, you can bite me, just don't make me sick. Make them so they don't bite.
Take out their teeth.
Or just, since you, that's so weird. I don't like it. On this day in 1836, oh man, I remember this, boy, what a time that was. The territory of Wisconsin is established by Congress. In 1912, Boston's Fenway Park opens. I was there for that too. What a day. Such a weird day. There was a lot of black people around that day. It was real weird. The park was full of people everywhere, but I could only see one person that looked like me. Nobody on the field, nobody selling stuff. It was just me. In 1998, applying a racketeering law, a federal judge in where else? Chicago. Why are you laughing? Rules that anti-abortion organizers used threats and violence amounting to extortion to shut down clinics. I just lost the page. Okay, I got it. Wait, I didn't lose it. Hold on. Oh, God, they're going to cut us off the network. I got to make sure we don't get cut off first. In 2004, a judge orders Multnomah County, Oregon. Did I say that right?
Multnomah.
Thank you, sir. Boy, I'm so glad somebody from Oregon's here. Multnomah County, Oregon, to stop issuing gay marriage licenses, but also ordered the state to recognize the 3,000 licenses already granted. Don't give out any more licenses. Honor all those licenses. That's pretty damn confusing. Man, I got to tell you also, Fenway Park, no Fenway dog, Yawkey Way, very racist. It was weird. On this day in 1961, Don Mattingly was born. He's 61 years old. I'm getting up there, boy. In 1967, drummer Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater was born. Yeah. In 1970, I know I've heard of Dream Theater. In 1976, actor singer Joey Lawrence. From Summer Rental and Blossom. He's 46 years old. In music history, a 13-year-old Dolly Parton releases her first single, Puppy Love. I Need Glasses, because I can't tell you what I thought it said. In 1999, Janet Jackson receives a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Oh my goodness gracious. Why doesn't this one? There must be some good ones in this Did You Know, because it doesn't want to stay. In 1992, David Bowie, Roger Daltrey, Elton John, Annie Lennox, Metallica, Robert Plant, and U2 headline a tribute to late Queen singer Freddie Mercury at London's Wembley Stadium. And in 1993, Aerosmith's album Get a Grip is released. Now it's time for my favorite segment. It's called Did You Know? Gliss, welcome to the show. How you doing? Hey, here we go. Did you know people living west of the Mississippi are more likely to go out of their way to search for cheaper gas than the rest of the country? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Did you know a wife does make the decisions 4 times more often than her husband? Is that true, Gliss?
Probably. Probably more so out of necessity, because
hey man, the best answer you can give on that one is yes. And just yes. Because I'm sure Lindsay's listening.
I think that's probably true.
There you go. Hey man, if I do nothing else for you, I save a lot of arguments. Just answer yes.
They're better at organizing thoughts and whereas it might be left to linger a little bit more with men, I think. I don't know.
There are 3 rules, as I've learned. Yes, dear, you're right. I'm sorry. If you can remember those 3 things, you and Lindsay and every man you know will stay married forever. Yes, dear, you're right. I'm sorry. And then shut up. Did you know the older you get, the more likely you'll meet friends? Damn, that's terrible. Oh, my God. That's awful. What a rotten thing to say. How dare them? Oh, man, that is bad. The older you get, the more likely you'll need friends. Oh, man, that's just so evil. That's just really hurt me deep in my heart. I'm just hurt. I'm getting older. I don't need any more friends. Damn. Ugh. Did you know children develop a fashion sense by the time they turn the age of 7? No, they don't. Please stop it.
Did you know fashion sense?
Man, look, it took me 50 years to figure it out. I'm 54. Did you know, according to Men's Health, engaged men are more likely to lose weight if they are helping plan a formal wedding? Oh, yeah. I believe that's true. Did you know 21% of Americans say that the first thing they do when they get out of bed is drink water?
Yep.
Did you know a survey says 46? A survey says Mario needs glasses. A survey says that 64% of women think about their to-do lists in the shower. I can see that. According to the Knot.com, just over half of all grooms choose the venue for their wedding. Did you know 50% of cereal bands are discontinued after 5 years? Wow. Here's another thing to know, too. Stiff competition between, oatmeal and fruit and just not eating sugar with milk in it. Here, kid, eat this. Go watch TV. There's no cartoons. I'm watching CNN. Shut up and eat. Babies, particularly newborns, are surprisingly different from the children they'll grow up to be. Duh. When they're born, their heads account for a quarter of their full body weight, and the size of their brains will double in the first year of life. Babies have 300 bones and around 10,000 taste buds all over their mouth. Some of the bones will fuse as they age into 206 as an adult, but the taste buds not on the tongue will eventually vanish. Man, if people retain their taste buds, there would be a whole different way of eating food in this country or in the world. That's it, man. We're done. That just blew my mind. I gotta get out of here. I gotta take a mental break. Babies have taste buds all over their mouth. That's why they're all like super giddy with certain foods.
Yeah,
makes so much sense.
That would be pretty exciting.
Yes.
Like,
can you imagine? What is
going on?
This is the most delicious thing I've ever ate in my life. What? Thank you, human. Thank you, adult parental unit. All right, Gliss, thanks, man. Really appreciate your help today. I will see you on Friday. This is going to be a good day to get it together, and we will be back with the Friday show. And that's anything can happen day, and it is always good. Looking forward to it. Me neither. I'll see you Friday, man. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. If you enjoyed the drive, there are a couple of ways that you can support the show that will really help. If you're watching right now and see that subscribe button down on the left side of your screen, click it. Subscribe and we'll let you know when I'm going live. And also, as I mentioned, there's some really cool stuff Gliss and I are doing for the show, and we want you guys to be a part of it for sure. Another way that you can really help me out, no matter where you're watching or listening, is leave a review. The more reviews you leave, the better we become. And again, I will see you guys on Friday. As the sun begins its descent here in Chicago, Illinois, my name is Mario Smith. You've been watching The Drive with Mario Smith on Backchannel.tv. Thank you to everybody that's been a passenger with us so far this week. We will be back at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the last show for Backchannel today. You can join us again starting at 6 in the morning Eastern with Haley and Allison's Good Morning. On behalf of everyone at Backchannel.tv, have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll see you soon. Peace.